Hello everyone, welcome back to day 9 of my July Watercolor Month series. And in today's video, we are going to paint this fresh, vibrant watercolor illustration of oranges hanging from a branch with its tiny little delicate blossoms. So grab your paints and let's get started. So for this painting, I will be using watercolor paper by Uhuhu. This is 300 GSM watercolor paper and the size is 9 by 12. I love this watercolor pad. I've used quite a lot of sheets from this one. I decided to paint it big because I want to frame it afterwards. I love the texture of this paper. And for the watercolors, I will be using these watercolors from Woomer Art. They kindly sent me this palette and I absolutely love. I have used it a lot. Then I have few of the round brushes, big and small. And I will now lightly sketch the oranges, the leaves and tiny little flowers. You can place any number of oranges as you want, and you can choose your own placement of the flowers, leaves and the oranges. Once you're happy, erase all the pencil lines that you do not require, as after we use watercolors, we cannot remove or erase any lines. And then we start painting. I am using very light wash of very watery consistency of this very light orange mixed with little bit of yellow as the base layer of the oranges. And I am going to add little more color so that there is some area having a little puddle of this color. Somehow after this clip, the recording did not, the camera did not record the video, but I'm doing those steps again. As you can see, I'm using a darker shade of orange now and just dabbing it towards one side of the orange like that. So I already did that, but somehow it didn't get recorded. So I'm doing it again. So all we need is to create the texture for the orange, which is very dotted. So I'm using the darker orange to do that and just dabbing it lightly towards one side so that we have lighter color on one side and darker on the other side. And for the flowers, I am using a mix of black and a blue, very watery, just a little bit of color and more of water. And then I used it to paint the flowers. So this gives an impression of white flowers because we cannot use white on top of white sheet. So there has to be some tone. And then I use a little bit of this orange in the center. And then I use the tissue to just pick some color to make that even lighter. So that's easy 5-petal flower. And then for the branches, I used brown, dark brown mixed with a little bit of green. And then I used it to make the branches. And now is the time to paint those lush green leaves. So I'm using the base color as green mixed with yellow because I want a very bright green. And then I will be adding the darker green with which we painted the branch to add some shadowed effects. And I'm just going to go to and fro between those two colors and paint the leaves so that we have some variation. We don't want our leaves to be one color. We want them to be different shadows, different tones, different water consistency as well. So drop the color wherever you feel like, use water more where you feel like to change the tones and colors of the leaves. This part for me is most relaxing because you get to paint different shapes of leaves. Just loosen up your brush and use two the curved lines to make one petal, make one leaf, and just paint it in whatever shape you want. I want to intensify the orange part for the oranges, so I took even darker consistency of the orange and started to dab again. So this is completely up to you, but I want them to be even brighter and more contrast. So I'm using the darker shade now to do that step again. Finally, I want to use my Faber-Castell watercolor pencils to give some final touches to this beautiful painting. So I'm using this dark brown color and I'm just going to do some line effect in the leaves. Somewhere I'm going to give an outline from one side. So just basically sketching all the leaves, any edges of the leaves, inside the leaves. So just be free and do whatever lines you feel like doing. Basically, I just want it to have a little more precision and also a little more variation. For those tiny little flowers, I'm using warm gray from the same watercolor pencils, and I'm just lightly sketching out the petals with this one. And finally, I will be using a dark orange shade from the same pencil set, and I'm going to outline and just crisp the edges of the oranges a little bit more. And that's all. And with this, our beautiful watercolor oranges painting is complete. I hope you all enjoyed painting with me today. And if you like this tutorial, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification so you don't miss the next painting for 31 days watercolor challenge. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow with day 10. Till then, take care. Bye bye.